All right, everyone. Welcome back to another Cantina Corner Spring Training review, breakdown. We're going to just break it so down. Today we're going to do the A.L West. They're going to be our first division in the American League. If you missed our other videos, we did the entire National League, West, East, and then the Central. Also want to bring up the Mlb the Show 21 giveaway that we got going on. We got a bunch of posts on Facebook, Twitter about how to enter that. So make sure you check those out. All you got to do is really follow the social medias and follow the instructions that we have there. You can earn extra entries. Every now and then we'll make posts. If you like on them, comment. We just did one this last Sunday. If you liked it and commented your favorite player, you got an extra entry. We'll continue to do stuff like that.
Yep, got to get your free copy.
Absolutely. Why not? Why not?
We're trying to just hand this to you.
Yeah. Hell yeah. With that being said, let's go ahead and get into it. A.L West. Who you got? Bottom of the barrel. We'll work our way up like we normally do. Who you got coming in last place in the division?
I honestly think this could be a toss-up, but I got the Mariners finishing last.
I do too.
Yeah, I don't think they really got much. Their pitching is I know that Justice Sheffield's young.
Yep.
Like I know he's the Indians drafted him and then sent him on his way to what was it, New York?
Yep.
Was that in the Andrew Miller trade?
Andrew Miller trade, yep.
So I know he's still got time to develop. He's a young kid, so he could be something. I don't know. There's really not much in there in terms of their rotation that scares me, though.
No.
I mean, they did get James Paxton back. I've never been a huge fan, but the dude is a solid pitcher, and I would imagine would be their ace
if he can stay healthy.
Yeah,
I mean, he hasn't been healthy in almost 3 years.
No.
So who knows? I mean, he had great upside when he was with the Mariners at first. The Yankees went out and got him, hoping to solidify that rotation, and I don't even know how many games he ended up pitching for them, but it wasn't many.
Yeah, I don't know however many, but yeah, he has had injury problems, so.
Yeah. So, rotation-wise, not there. Got some young talent. We got to see, they just signed that guy out of Japan. I don't want to screw up his name. I'll let you say it.
You say Kikuchi? I don't know if that's right.
Yeah, I don't either. So we'll see how he does. Could be, they always seem to have Japanese players or Asian players come over and pitch for them well. So
solid, yeah.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see how he gets his career going in the MLB. They got a super young stud already in their lineup playing center field, Kyle Lewis. The dude's a lot of people say that his defensively reminds him of Ken Griffey Jr. And he is a beast defensively. He's got a solid ass bat too. He's going to be one of those kids who develops over the next few years, probably into a household name. We'll see if they can hold on to him at that point. Because like you saw with the Indians, same thing with Lindor. You see a lot of these lower end market teams get rid of these guys. Yeah,
let's see how it plays out. That is definitely a player to watch for on that team, though, because honestly, there's really not much else.
Yeah,
Kyle's way past his prime.
Yeah, Haniger's coming back. He missed all of last year, and I think he missed part of the year 2019 as well.
He'll be a solid comeback for him.
Yeah, his bat was fucking just yoked before he got hurt. I'll be interested to see if he can get that power back after the injury and stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, outside of that, they really don't have anybody who's like a household name or a stud. They're just a young team. No,
I feel like they're that prospect we were talking about, that Jared Kelenic.
Yeah, Jared Kelenic.
I feel like he's more of a household name than the rest of their team, just because of all that the controversy that came out with their GM talking about manipulating the service time, because he was a player that they expected to see last year and they didn't want to start that clock on him. Yep. So, and he's again the number one prospect in MLB right now. So,
and we saw a very similar thing with Francisco Lindor. All we kept hearing was, "Oh, his bat's got to come around. His bat's got to come around." He came up and he was hitting immediately. There was absolutely no wait for him. He was ready. They just, that's what teams do, man. You got to manipulate the time when you know you're only going to have him for so long. I get it.
Yeah,
but it's shitty.
It is shitty. you kind of get both perspectives, and I wouldn't want to be in the situation in either side,
No.
honestly. I'm fine with being an outsider because it does suck either way. It's
Yeah.
really, but it's the nature of the beast, pretty much.
Yeah. So moving on with Seattle, I don't think they're going to win very many games. They might. They're going to be like the low 60s, probably in the win total, upper 50s.
Maybe, yeah, something like that.
I
I feel like that's even if their pitching comes around. If their pitching's awful, I don't
Yeah.
even think they reach 60 wins.
It's tough too. I mean, when Seattle had good teams, they always started off hot. But traveling, man, traveling when you're in Seattle is just a different animal. So
Yeah, you
they're
hear that
one of
all
those
the
teams that's
time.
just gonna fade, I think, you know.
Yeah.
But next up I have the Rangers.
Same.
I think they're the two bottom
well.
barrel teams here.
Yeah.
The Rangers really don't have much coming at you, honestly. Kyle Gibson. I mean, I'm looking at they got that I always fucking mispronounce his name, that Mike
Foltynewicz or whatever.
Foltynewicz, yeah.
That's even how you say it.
Coming over from Atlanta. I mean, I just don't see much here for pitching, and a lot of their they did trade for Chris Davis, but he's old, and not Chris Davis with a K. I should preface that. Chris Davis with a K.
Yeah.
They traded I just lost his name. Elvis Andrus. I don't know why. He's, I think, one of the more underrated shortstops.
Yeah, the dude is solid.
But
to a division rival too.
Yeah, to a division rival. And you got a power bat. I mean, I guess, you know, thinking of putting him with Gallo. I don't know. I don't really understand the thinking there. I don't know what the contract situation was. But we'll see how that goes. I mean, Joey Gallo, people know him. He's going to hit almost 40 bombs probably, if not more. He's going to strike out 250 times.
He did win a Gold Glove last year too. I was
Did
surprised because you don't ever think about him and his defense. You just think about that power bat.
Yeah, he's been playing outfield for them, hasn't he?
Yeah, right field mostly. That's where he won the Gold Glove last year. Is right field.
Yeah, he came up as a third baseman. I don't think he could handle it. That's probably why they moved him.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen a similar situation in Cleveland with Lonnie Chisenhall. You know, they kept forcing him at third, and it was affecting his whole game. The moment they made that switch to outfield, he was a great outfielder with a cannon, and his bat came around like it was nothing.
I know we've always talked about this. Lonnie Chisenhall, when he was in Cleveland and when he moved to the outfield, he was one of the best players, and this could be biased because we watched him every day, but judging the ball off of the wall, or like, you know, just making those adjustments as he knew where the ball was going to come off the wall. Like, he was very good at knowing where to be when that ball's going to skip off the wall or bang off the wall. At each stadium, it seemed like he knew what was going on. And that's huge for an outfielder, dude. I mean, the quicker you get the ball in, the quicker you stop the guys running around the bases, which is your job.
Yeah.
So
it's just crazy what a switch like that could do to a player and unlock their potential like that.
Yeah, Lonnie Baseball. It turned into Lonnie Baseball.
Yep.
But yeah, I mean, hitter ballpark. This team, I think, is going to get annihilated in some games. The only thing they got going for them, honestly, is they're going to have a full stadium. Well, the ability to fill their stadium to 100%, which I would assume opening day they're going to do that because it's the first thing people really can go do.
I would imagine it'll be sold out pretty quick. Because a year of lockdowns not be. I mean, I know I'm itching to go see some baseball this year. Like we're not gonna have 100% capacity, but just to at least be able to go out and see some baseball. I'd imagine that as soon as the tickets go on sale for that, they're gonna be sold out.
Yeah. So I mean that is something to look into. I mean, they might feed off that crowd on a few nights. I mean, who knows? Who knows? It's baseball. Crazier shit's happened. They're definitely not winning the division. I'll tell you that right now. But
no, they're not. The crowd won't make that much of a difference.
They might come in third.
Yeah. But no, Trout was talking about that. The other day I was listening to a clip of him when they were talking to him in spring training, just like last week or something. And he was talking about the excitement and the difference that the crowd really is going to make, where he's like, you know, there's only so much artificial stadium noise that you can take before it's like, okay, this really isn't doing anything. Yeah. He's like, you know, sometimes in those situations where you're down running, you need that hit and you hear the crowd cheering and pumping for you. He's like, you know, you talk about players blocking stuff out, but at the same time, that he's like that could be a difference maker. You know,
there is. I mean, I played travel ball. I'm not. I never played nowhere near the level of professional ball or college ball or anything. But I have played in smaller stadiums. There is a difference when there's like a crowd that's into it. Like, it's not even like that you hear it all, but you just feel it. It's just like you just like naturally just get jacked up. Like, all right, let's do this. Like, there's something happening. Yeah. That's how I would explain it.
Difference.
Yeah. This is where I think the division gets interesting. These top 3 teams. I think 2 of these teams are going to be in the playoffs. I think one of them is going to miss out. But who you got at third? I'm interested to hear this.
So this isn't necessarily realistic. I think it could be.
Okay.
But I really don't think so. This is just kind of like some factors played into here, like we talked about prior to the podcast. But I have the Astros at third.
I mean, I could see it.
I can't really, honestly, realistically, I can't see it. So I don't really, well, just
go ahead. Hey, fuck the Astros. I'll come out and say it. Fuck the Astros. I hope they come in 5th. I don't give a shit.
It's just realistically, when I look at it, it's like, this isn't going to happen. This team, it's too good. It really is.
Outside of Michael Brantley, fuck this team.
Oh, no, I agree.
Honest to God.
Well, Zach Greinke. I mean, come on. Greinke's.
All right, I'll give Greinke some slack. But, this whole scandal, this team got, I don't even want to say it got lucky with COVID. But I can't wait to see what these players have to get. I mean, Altuve's getting booed in spring training. They're gonna get some shit, and I can't fucking wait to be a part of it.
That's one reason I'm excited too, dude. Fans are licking their chops for this because honestly, they did get lucky with the way the season and everything played out last year. It on top of the MLB not doing anything about the whole scandal and everything, they also didn't get like publicly shamed by the fans in the baseball community like they should have.
Yeah.
So it was like they really almost got off completely scot-free.
Yeah, and I agree.
And one reason it pisses me off so much is all of that, but it's like they're a team good enough where they didn't even need to go and do this anyways.
No.
Like every one of these players is good. The pitching staff's good. It's like there was no need to even go that far as cheating as they did.
I agree. And it honestly gives some credence. It doesn't prove that he was factually correct, even though I do 100% believe him. But when Trevor Bauer was out ahead of this saying that, I'm not saying they're cheating, but they're definitely doing something to get more RPMs on these pitchers' balls.
Mm-hmm.
And all these pitchers are becoming way better than what they should be. And I mean, even Verlander's a great pitcher. We've seen him for years in Detroit.
Yeah. He
was having a horrid year, the year he was traded to the Astros. And as soon as he was traded, it was like he was back to Verlander again. Yep. And that was the first time it was eye-opening to me. It was like, wow, first, like Garrett Cole, who was dying in Pittsburgh, comes over. And, I mean, that guy, what contract did he just sign? Like 200 and some million?
With the Yankees, I don't even know. But no, him coming over, like, it was more believable with him than Verlander because he was younger.
Yeah.
And he was dominant in Pittsburgh, but those last year or two, whatever, did kind of suck. But yeah, with Verlander, it was like,
it's like, what's going on here? Because, I mean, that was like a mid-season week change. And I get, like, I could see, like, an outing or two where you're ramped up, new team.
Little jacked,
but, yeah. And then, when Bauer pulled out the number, I mean, he pulled out numbers and factual shit with his thing, which, a lot of people will make accusations and not have any proof of it. He did. And then he showed it in a game. With the Indians, he was like, you guys might want to go back and look at the numbers and you might notice a few things.
Yep.
So, I mean, it wouldn't surprise me that they're doing multiple things over there because honestly, even though I guess technically they made the playoffs last year, like Altuve had a horrible year last year, like horrid. Like, I don't know if it was mental with him because he was one of the guys I always would think, even with this scandal, he didn't need that to be great.
No.
But
he was great before then.
Last year, like, put some doubt in your mind. Like, okay, is he just like, is this just like happening at the end of his career where he's starting to like lose that bat speed and it's just terrible timing and it's really just going to torch his legacy? If he's not back this year, if he's the Altuve we got last year in the regular season, in the playoffs last year, he kind of got back to his normal self.
Yeah.
But in the regular season, if we get that Altuve for the length of this year, like that's going to put some serious questions on his career. And I always respected the hell out of him.
Yeah, definitely. Dude was always a good fucking hitter.
Yeah.
Always good. I think next year we'll definitely tell if maybe it was something mental. If he doesn't bounce back, then maybe it's just, he's out of his prime and just, we'll see.
But I mean, like we talked about, this lineup is fucking stacked. Either way you look at it.
It really is.
Even with the down Altuve, you got Bregman in there. He's going to put himself in the MVP conversation. Michael Brantley, my favorite Indian. I mean, I could sit here the rest of the podcast and talk about how much I love Michael Brantley.
He's amazing.
Yeah, he's great. They got Alvarez, Gurriel, Kyle Tucker, a young kid coming up out of their system who can hit. I mean, they're loaded. They're still loaded.
They're another team too that seems pretty solid at developing talent.
Yeah,
it's scouting, drafting, and developing talent because they've had some good solid players come up.
Yeah, Correa was out of their system, wasn't he? Yeah.
I believe so. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, because him and Lindor were the same draft and all that.
Is he officially signed? He's technically a free agent, isn't he?
At the end of this year, actually. And I was reading an article that was saying that the Rangers are expected to be a huge push for him, or expected to make a huge push for him in the offseason next year. So
maybe that would explain their Andrews trade.
Yeah, it would a little bit more. And it'll be interesting to see what the Astros do because they let what's his face, Springer walk.
Yeah, Springer,
so I think that's going to hurt him too because Springer,
huge loss.
He's a good player. Yep.
I love Springer as a player, especially more now that he's not in an Astros uniform.
A little bit easier to like him now.
It is. It really is. I mean, I drafted him in every league in fantasy. He was another guy I thought like he's just talented at the plate. He doesn't need.
Yeah.
I mean, and you could say that about 90% of their lineup if we're being fucking honest about it. I mean, to me, I still consider them the world champions, but I mean, I wish they would put like an asterisk on it. Let them keep the title. They went out, they did it. Whether they cheated or not, they did it. I don't think you can take it away, but you know, you can throw an asterisk by it and say it's questionable. But yeah, I could sit here and trash the Astros organization all night, but so I guess we'll talk about the team that I have third, which is the Angels. Do you have them second? Or do you have them winning the division?
I might have them winning the division.
You might have them winning the division. Holy fuck.
I told you that these three weren't necessarily realistic for me and there's some heavy bias going on.
They could. I don't see why they couldn't.
They would have to make some major moves for that, I think, their pitching staff because they got the offense to hang around for sure.
The pitching is what I'm concerned about. The only reason I gave the Astros the edge is because they got two workhorses at the top. Now, Greinke and Verlander are getting old. They honestly are. I mean, which is weird to say, but I mean, they are getting old. They've been like Verlander's been around forever, and Greinke, I don't know this is a fact, but I think Greinke's been in the league longer because he came up. He was like 19 when he first started with the Royals.
Greinke, man.
I mean, he won a Cy Young at like 20, didn't he? Or 21 or something like that. He was like one of the youngest Cy Young winners.
It's like that and Rookie of the Year the year before. Something it was shortly after his Rookie of the Year. Like I mean, he's been a monster since he came out.
Regardless,
it's been a long time.
They've been in the league for a long time, so they could. I mean, if those two fall off, McCullers as your ace ain't gonna do it. So I would move the Astros down then, and they did. I mean, they did sign what's his name, Odorizzi.
That's a solid pickup.
Very solid pickup.
That did definitely ended the rotation more. Like I'd say like a 4 or so.
He's a guy you know what you're getting every time he's out. You know, he'll eat innings and you know what you're getting. That's what Odorizzi is. Good signing. But I'm telling you, if Greinke and Verlander have some serious regression, I think the Angels will definitely come in second in this division.
So it's 1 year. Greinke's been in the league for 17 years, and Verlander for 16.
All right, but I was right. All right, that makes me feel good. I really know. I didn't
Yep.
look that up. I that was just pure knowledge right there, folks. Pure knowledge. My Rush
I just know
Limbaugh.
they've both been in the league for a long ass time.
Yeah, they have. But yeah, like you were saying, the fucking Angels lineup is this division has some stacked ass lineups, dude.
That's yeah. I mean, the bottom two teams were so easy to figure out, and then when I was looking at these next year, I'm like, this is why I said, like, I know if you're looking at it, just say they were to end the season with these rosters, my ranking is not necessarily realistic. The Angels are definitely going to have to do something with that rotation, but their offense can fucking hang.
Yeah,
their offense is nasty.
I agree, and I've been saying it since Mike Trout's been in the league. They need to get some pitching around this guy, or they're going to waste his fucking, Hall of Fame career. I mean, he's already a Hall of Famer. He's one of those guys like him and Kershaw could retire right now, and they're Hall of Famers. There's not even a question in my mind.
No, they would be.
But they got Anthony Rendon now that it was a shortened year last year, but now you're comfortable. He's been on that team. Justin Upton somehow is still playing baseball. He hits bombs.
Forever.
He doesn't hit as many as he used to, but they went out and they got Dexter Fowler. Solid piece. He's a piece guy.
Yeah.
Jose Iglesias, which was one, honestly, when I looked at it too, I was like, damn, that dude is a wizard defensively.
Yeah. I mean, we've seen him in Detroit for so long, and like these plays this dude would make, it's like, and he's not bad with his bat either.
No, solid bat.
He's not bad.
Solid back end 7 through 9 hitter.
Mm-hmm.
But man, he's got a fucking glove on him, dude. They will miss the bat of Simmons. Yeah, they'll miss the bat of Simmons, but I think he's a slight upgrade above Simba defensively, and Simba's good. I mean,
I don't know if I could agree with that, dude.
I'm telling you, dude. Iglesias, dude.
And Jordan Simmons, I don't know. I can't agree with that. That dude's a monster at shortstop. Like, he's one of the best.
I think he's a better overall shortstop. But I would give, if we're just talking defensively, I'm giving Iglesias. I'm giving him the nod. I'm giving him the nod.
I could see the argument, but I can't.
I giving him the nod. At the plate, I don't even think it's a decision. You're taking Simmons a million times out of a million. So yeah, obviously they got Ohtani coming back. I think their plan is to let him pitch more. I don't know that for sure.
We'll see. I can't imagine, like, I still think it's such a weird situation.
It is
having like dual roles like that, because it's like, I don't know, it's just so much more risk for injury. And if he does pitch that good, would you really want him batting every night?
Right.
And if he bats that good, like, you really want him pitching every 5th day? It's like,
that's the tough part about it, is the kid can fucking hit and he can pitch. Like, he can do both at the major league level.
I was watching a video the other day of him in spring training. The dude's hitting 100 miles per hour on his fastball. Yeah. It's like,
I would use him in the show. In the show, his card rating was not that good, but he's one of the few starters that can get over 100 miles an hour on the fastball. It's
nasty.
He can do it on both. I wish he would pick a role and stick with it. I really do, because I think if he had the resources that the MLB gives you to train and stuff, and he focused on one part of his craft, I think he could seriously be like a multi-year all-star stud. Either as a DH. I mean, he could embrace the fucking David Ortiz role and just be the DH. I don't need you to do anything else. Be the DH. Get in the cage every day. Practice your hitting. You're going to be hitting fucking 5th, 6th, 4th in our lineup every day. Or practice on your pitching. I mean, the dude's got nasty shit. Shit.
Yeah, he does.
I really do. I would love to talk to an Angels fan. I know we have an Angels fan that follows us on Twitter and Facebook. Maybe if you're watching this, Mike, you can comment on us. Tell us your thoughts. Like, as an Angels fan, do you wish that he would focus on one, or do you like? I mean, it's pretty sweet. It's a pretty unique role where you have a player that can do both and do it on the major league level. I mean, it is sweet. But I mean, personally, if he was on the Indians, I'd be like, I really wish they would just tell this guy, you're going to pitch or you're going to hit. I mean, pitching is more important, and they could definitely, like, if he's slotted in as their as their ace and he just focused on it, their pitching staff might look a little better.
Honestly, like when I was looking at it too, it's like you got Jose Quintana, who you kind of know is going to be solid number 3. He's going to go out and do his work. I know last year had kind of a down year, but I think overall you know what you're getting. Alex Cobb, I feel like he's kind of a lesser version of Quintana. He's had some really good years, but he's had overall like worse years. That's a solid 4. And then I don't know much of this Griffin Canning. I know he's a young dude, but what Matt Vasgersian on MLB Network was talking about him, and he said he thinks he's almost like looking at the rotation in his eyes is their ace pretty much.
Really?
I haven't watched much about him, but Matt Vasgersian knows what he's talking about too.
He does.
So.
I mean, I would imagine Haney is their ace. Looking at this, Andrew Haney, but and Dylan Bundy, dude, he's not terrible. He's not terrible. He's not. Awful. He's not. He was on a terrible Baltimore team, and he had about 2 years where it was like, okay, this guy's putting it together, but the team fucking sucked. I mean, when you go out there and I want to say I saw the stat, he had like 70% of his outings were considered quality starts. But he only won like 33% of those games because the team fucking sucked. I mean, it's almost like we saw with Corey Kluber. You can go out there and put an ace performance out and lose 1-0. And I mean, it happened all the time for Kluber. Yeah. Before he started winning Cy Youngs and they actually started giving him run support. But I mean,
what was it, the year after his first Cy Young, it went right into that, and he got like, was he second or third place that year in Cy Young before he won his next one? And he'd go out and no run support. And I mean, I'm not really a huge fan of Bundy, but I know that Baltimore team was trash.
They were garbage. Trash. They're still garbage.
Yeah, it is. It's awful.
And now he's got an shit fire. Now he's got an offense that, if he gives up a 3-run shot after putting up a quality start, he's not going to lose 3-2,
Yeah.
I actually think Bundy's a way more solid signing. He's not sexy, he's not pretty, but I think he's one of those guys where Angel fans will like him because he's just going to be consistent. And that, honestly, as a pitcher, it's not all you can ask for, because you can ask to be a stud, but if you're not a stud, right, as long as you're consistent, good things are going to happen. And then so I'm assuming you have these guys second, and I've got them winning the division, the Oakland A's.
Yeah.
All right. Why don't you think they can win the division?
I really want to see the Angels win the division.
Okay, there it is.
I am a huge Anthony Rendon fan, but dude, I would love to see them to just win the division and Mike Trout play some fucking playoff baseball.
Yeah, I agree. We need Mike Trout in the playoffs.
It's like they just have to do. I didn't know this because I mean it makes sense because the guy's been in the league forever, but he's turning 30 years old this season. This is his 30-year-old season in baseball, and it's like this dude hasn't played fucking playoff baseball ever, right? I don't think they've made it once with him that I could think of.
If they did, they made a wild card, and they lost.
If anything,
I don't think they've ever been in a real series.
I don't. Yeah. So that's why I ranked them first. It's a lot of hope, and there's some bias there.
Hey,
but
listen. I know I've known you a long time. I know how much you love Anthony Rendon. It's real. You loved him in Washington.
It was a beast.
I get it. When you like a player, you're gonna follow him and you're gonna root for him. But that being said, I think this A's team is the most solid all around team put together of young talent, veteran talent. I think this team is really nice, actually. Like, I think these guys can win 100 games. I think these guys are winning 100.
Think 100?
I do. I really do.
I can see the case for it. I would think somewhere around 85, 90, but they're a damn good team. They probably are, honestly, like you said, the more solid all the way through, top to bottom roster in this division.
Their 1 through 5 rotation, not one person is going to blow you away, but there are a lot of guys who'd be 2s and 3s on other teams, top to bottom in their rotation. I mean, Fires is their number 5, and I'm pretty sure he threw a no-hitter last year. And that's what I was talking about with consistency. I mean, that's just been that guy's MO, and a lot of these guys that Mesa and Bassett, like, that's these guys' MO. They go out, they do their job, 3-4 runs they're going to give up every game. But you know what? This offense can fucking put up runs. and they do it a lot and they do it often. Matt Chapman is a fucking stud.
He's an animal. He does strike out a lot, but the dude smacks the ball around when he's not striking out.
I'll tell you what, for a team, it's almost, and I'm not going to say it's exactly correlated, but it reminds me of Brett Favre, Aaron Rodgers. These guys traded Josh Donaldson, who went on to win an MVP, and it's like, really? We're trading an MVP type player, and for what? Because we have this young kid, Matt Chapman, coming up? Well, they were right. I mean, he's just as good as Josh Donaldson was. I mean, Donaldson might have a little bit more power. Chapman's hitting 30 bombs, dude.
Batting average too, but yeah. For them to slot him right in after getting rid of Donaldson is pretty ridiculous.
He's a better defender than Donaldson. And Donaldson's a good defender. Really good. I don't know if Donaldson's ever won a platinum glove, though.
No, the dude is nasty at third.
Yeah. And, I mean, they got their corners solidified, too. Matt Olson, I think, is a very underrated first baseman. The dude's going to hit 30 to 40 bombs and drive in 100 runs. And that's just what he does, quietly, for some reason. There's not many guys who can quietly do that. Another guy they have, I didn't realize they had, was Mitch Moreland. I don't pay attention too much to Oakland baseball, but I think that's a solid guy too. I mean, when he was in Boston, I know there was a lot of Mitch Moreland sucks. He had to take over the David Ortiz role, play a little first, played some DH.
I never liked him, but he's not bad.
Solid guy to have in your lineup, especially the back end. It's a stronger bat to have in the back end of your lineup. Obviously, we talked about them trading for Elvis Andrus. Obviously, they're going to miss the power that Chris Davis had. I think Elvis Andrus, I said this earlier when we were talking about the Rangers, I think he's one of the more underrated shortstops in the game. He's a plus average defender and a plus average bat. This dude, every year, his stats are the same. I love Elvis Andrus. Yeah, consistency. And sounds like a broken record, but I mean, that's all you can really ask for from a player is just be consistent.
Sometimes that's the name of the game sometimes in baseball, just consistency.
And that's honestly what the A's do. They're just consistent. I mean, even last year, I have a buddy at work, he's an A's fan, and you know, they got off to a hot ass start last year, and then they started to fall back. And it was like, all right, obviously they were just on a heater, and then they would like I watched him go through that as a fan, where it's like, oh, this team's gonna go into the World Series. Oh, well, we suck. We can't win. I honestly think they went like a week and a half without a win, and he was like losing his shit. And then they bounced back, and they finished. Did they win the division last year?
Yeah, they won.
And then the Astros came in second and got that wild card spot. But and forget his name.
Who's that?
Laureano.
Ramon Laureano.
Yeah. He's a fucking stud too. I kind of like him.
He's solid as hell.
He's a stud.
Young dude.
Young stud. I drew a blank because I was trying to remember his name, and I was picturing him. I think he was called out at first or something, and he was walking to the dugout, and I think it was the first baseman or somebody said something, and he turned around and he walked back out to first base, and it was like the first brawl of the year last year, where they weren't supposed to fight or whatever because of COVID. But also he's fucking ripped, dude. That dude's fucking juiced. He's doing something. That guy, I'm telling you, that guy is ripped, dude. Also a pretty good defender.
Yeah, he's really not a bad defender at all.
No, very solid. So yeah, I think the A's are winning 100 games this year.
Piscotty, he's a beast.
He is a beast, but I'll never get over that fantasy championship game, dude.
It was rough. It was a rough 2 weeks.
I'll let you guys in on a secret. Me and Nick ran a fantasy team. We were just destroying. I think we went 18-3 in the regular season. And we were in the championship. We had Michael Brantley get hurt with his shoulder injury. Was it Prince Fielder that was our DH that got hurt?
I think he was hurt too.
He got hurt. We had picked up Piscotty to cover Michael Brantley because we literally had no other outfielders. and Piscotti ended up getting carted off the field the next day because he ran into the wall. Sterling Marte, that was the other one. Sterling Marte was hurt. We had like 4 guys out championship week, and we only lost by like 5 points. The team was ungodly good.
If I remember right, was that the season I think we traded for Mike Trout and never lost a game again.
Yeah, that was it. That was 100% it. Yeah, it was like 5 weeks into the year, and we were like 2-3. And because we finished 18-3 that year, and we traded for Mike Trout, and we never lost. I forget what we even traded, but it definitely was not a fair deal. Because I want to say that was the year Trout won MVP that year, I think. I'm trying to remember. We had Nolan Arenado on that team. The team was stupid. That team was stupid.
The team was ridiculous.
Was that the year where
2016, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. Our pitching staff was disgusting. We had Chris Sale, Corey Kluber, and Kershaw. Those were our 3.
I believe so, yeah.
We drafted, because we drafted, that's how we started our draft. We drafted those 3. We then drafted Mookie Betts in the 4th round, who ended up being the MVP of the AL. Yeah, that's what it was. Mookie Betts won MVP that year.
So it was 2016.
Yeah. Because I remember the year before that we drafted Josh Donaldson in the 4th round and he won MVP. And because we had back-to-back years where we drafted the MVP in the 4th round. That team was disgusting, dude. That team was disgusting. Which by the way, this is a pretty good segue. I think we were talking about starting a fantasy league for the podcast. If you guys want to play fantasy baseball with us, we'll see who's interested. Comment on the video. Let us know if you're interested, and we'll start one up or whatever, just for fun, just for shits and giggles.
Yeah.
Normally, me and Nick play head-to-head points for fantasy baseball. I know there's Rota and all this other stuff. If we get enough people interested, we can talk about which version you guys want to play. Doesn't matter to us. It's just fun to play.
Yeah, pretty much. I enjoy playing it.
Yeah, it's a good time. And it helps you pay attention to everybody, you know? Because there's so many more players than in fantasy football. It can kind of get overwhelming if you've never done it before, because there's like so many different positions. You start multiple people at multiple positions, so it's a little bit different. I think you start 9 players for, what is it for football? It's like 9 to 11 or something like that.
Something like that. Not as many as.
And it's like 15 you start for baseball. So
yeah.
But it's fun.
It is fun.
If your team's good. If your team's bad, it might not be as fun. But yeah, it'd be cool if we could get everybody in a draft party. We could get on the Discord and all get in Discord, do it live together. I think that'd be dope.
Yeah, for sure. Adam, our host, said that our usual host for current events, said he'd be jumping in on it too if we were to get this set up. So.
And he doesn't know baseball, so you'll probably beat him.
So there you go. That's one win for sure. You can pencil in.
Yeah, we could do with whoever wins the league or whoever. We could probably do multiple things. If you are the top team in the regular season, we can give you ship you out a free Cantina Corner shirt or something. Just a little something for playing. But yeah, we'll just do the league for fun or whatever, and just bragging rights.
Who knows? It ends around the time the new Madden comes out, so we can see then too. Maybe copy of Madden be on the line. You never know.
Copy of Madden. We'd probably definitely get some interest in fantasy football leagues, so we'll probably end up doing that too. So I think next week, as far as next week goes, we'll be breaking down the AL East. Correct?
Yeah.
AL East. So we'll see what's going on there. There's a lot of good teams in that division. A lot of movement in that division. It's gonna be interesting to see how that division turns out, but
it's gonna be painful.
It's gonna be painful. I'm pretty sure we know who's gonna win it, but regardless, we'll break down.
I can't get over seeing Corey Kluber in pinstripes. I hate it.
I don't want to talk about it. We got a whole week. I got a whole week to put that off to the side and not deal with it.
I'm gonna be thinking about it every day. Every day.
Yeah, it sucks. It really does suck. But yeah, look forward to seeing that, talking to you guys about that. So yeah, leave a comment down below. If you want to join the fantasy baseball league, we'll get that started. We'll get information out for you. And then make sure you like this video on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube. Get your entries into the MLB the Show giveaway. There's only a couple weeks left in that. So get on it. Get on it. There's a few people who have actually liked us on multiple platforms to get their, I mean, they're on their shit. So if you think you're winning it just by, following the Facebook page and shit, I mean, you better hop over to Twitter, you better hop over to YouTube, because people are doing it.
There's some competition.
Which I want to shout out. We are, as of right now, 4 followers away from 300 on Facebook.
So close.
It's unreal. We didn't think we'd hit this number until the end of April, and we're on pace. I'm going to take a bet. I bet you we do it by our Friday video. I think we have 300, which would be 3 weeks ahead. Well, technically almost 7 weeks ahead of when we thought we would hit 300. So yeah. Honestly, incredible. So thank you guys. And yeah, I'll see you Friday. I'll be on my normal video with Adam. Well, there's a WandaVision, the making of WandaVision episode. So kind of like a behind the scenes thing. We'll break it down, chat, drink, just hang out. So we'll see you guys Friday. Until then, A.L East coming up next week. And we will talk to you guys later. Peace.
See ya.